they claim that we have a housing shortage in Cheyenne, to be honest with you. But it's not a matter of a housing shortage, it's a money shortage. What they're not taking into effect is the cost. Like I said, the costs have gone so high that a basic
Yeah.
family can't buy a home. Now, investors, that's a whole nother story.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Jon Puls, out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, is the owner of EMP Rentals. He's an entrepreneur, military veteran, and real estate operator. Jon, thanks for taking the time today.
Good morning.
It's great to have you on. Yeah, man, it's great. It's great to have you on here. I've actually not been to Cheyenne. Shame on me. But one of the beautiful things about real estate is you meet people who are doing deals everywhere in the country. So for myself and our audience who have maybe never been to Cheyenne or are not familiar with the area, what's the market like out there? And then maybe if you could inform us, like, what's the average price of a home going for out there?
Well, so Cheyenne has been one of those that got hit with the market value. It's weird here because we're so close to Colorado and we're only 100 miles from Denver. So our market fluctuates like mad, but lately it has skyrocketed in cost and value. So, for instance, I bought my house 5 years ago for $120,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, simple little place, 1,000 square feet. And today it's going for 289, 300,000.
Wow. Okay.
And the market here is ridiculous. I mean, you could buy a 4-plex of apartments right now in town, probably for around $525.
So is there a big contingency of mom and pop investors out there? Are people actively, is there a big RIA community out there? What's the energy like surrounding real estate investing?
Well, so surrounding real estate investing, it's very driven here. We do kind of have an overrun of realtors. So because there's not a whole lot of other jobs going on, we did have just recently 2 giant meta centers move into town. So that's driving the rates up and the people up and the population up. You know how it is, with more people come more money. So
Yeah.
that's kind of driving the prices in the area. When it comes to investing with mom and pops, there's plenty of opportunity here for things like that. The local government is trying to change a few things so you can have mother-in-law homes and you can rent them openly without having to have any stipulations on that. Because before you could only have family in there, now they're allowing for renters. Because we have a small college here, Laramie County Community College. They do a lot of work with me on the event rental side of my companies. But they've got a lot of new students coming in, and they've been growing quite a lot every year. So I mean, it's with the people coming in, there are spaces and places. A lot of people are looking to retire right now. Our community is an older community. It is an Air Force community as well, because we have F.E. Warren Air Force Base. So, I mean, if you're just looking for single homes to flip or buy or rent, there's plenty for sale here. The market's decent. The only thing that I can say is check your realtor, check their credentials, and make sure you're looking into every aspect of the home before you actually settle down the paperwork.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Do you see a lot of new build and ground up construction happening out there? Are there subdivisions being put up, or are you seeing more, fix and flip and rehabbing older
No,
properties?
we're seeing an extreme boom in the apartment complex kind of thing, and we're talking the 3 and 4 and 5 level, 100 units or bigger. We've got a lot of that going on right now. They claim that we have a housing shortage in Cheyenne, to be honest with you. But it's not a matter of a housing shortage, it's a money shortage. What they're not taking into effect is the cost. Like I said, the costs have gone so high that a basic
Yeah.
family can't buy a home. Now, investors, that's a whole nother story, because investing and buying is two completely different levels. And
Now, I know that you've had experience in the single family space and then also in small multifamily with a quadplex. You were talking before the show. For investors, especially new investors, I've heard this repeatedly, not just from investors, but also from lenders, that, one of the ways where folks can get into some of these properties potentially is through looking at small multifamily, because those additional doors can be counted really as income
right.
for the property. Is that, are you seeing like lots of small multifamily out there, or is that less common?
Well, it's less common, but the ones that are here are great investments because of what you just said. The having the chance to have that as an income to add to the property is a game changer, and especially for veterans. I mean, that's like the number one way to get into this business for veterans is to buy a small fourplex and start by living in one of the units, because then they also get it on a VA loan. So as long as it's
Yeah.
a fourplex or smaller in the state of Wyoming, it's considered residential. Anything over a fourplex of apartments is considered commercial.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, right? So if you would need to show maybe additional income for not necessarily substantially more than a single family home, you're adding income, especially if you're going to the right lender. You mentioned, a VA loan. And one of the things that I've seen is, people still need to qualify, right? So you still need to have the income there. So having those additional doors can definitely help with that. Now, for folks who may be outside of Cheyenne and outside of Wyoming and looking at investing, is there a contingency of out of state investors? Have you seen that, or are most of the people who own over there from Wyoming?
We have seen a lot of out of state investors, a lot of Colorado and a lot of California investors coming in. A lot of people that are selling their homes in California are moving here because of the tax rate. For one, we don't have a state tax. And the other thing is that their money coming from California is exponential compared to our incomes here. So hence the reason for the drive up in prices, because they're willing to pay and it's still change out of their pocket. Whereas for people that are here already investing, it's a struggle.
When we talk specifically kind of about that arbitrage of real estate and dollars, I mean, I'm a Texas licensed realtor, so I've seen it firsthand, right? You see people selling their home in, 1.2, $1.6 million home, and then you can buy four homes for the price of that in
Right.
markets in Texas. New homes in many cases too. And so, what this ends up doing is it drives, yes, the real estate markets up. And it also, really puts an onus on developers to create more housing. So we've seen it in Texas on the ground up construction side. And that has spilled over into like how it impacts fix and flippers and folks who are trying to do some type of rehab. Because if you're trying to do a fix and flip for $240,000 and there's a brand new, home that's being sold for the same amount at a lower rate, it's challenging to compete with that.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I do want to pivot a bit here, though, Jon, and ask you about a different side of the business, which I imagine has got to be pretty big out there, which is tourism and like short-term rentals.
So,
without knowing too much about it, that's got to be a big deal out there.
well, and I've dabbled in that because I've got friends here that also own other properties that own Airbnbs and things like that. The thing about Cheyenne, and that's the reason that you want to have Airbnbs here, the Air Force. We have a regional hospital, so you got a lot of travel nurses. It really supports the Airbnb side of that. If you're doing things like that, you definitely make the more money on the Airbnb side than you do in long-term rental. It's a little faster, because you're doing furnished product. You're not moving furniture in and out, having to do repairs all the time. It's more of a just come, go, stay, and leave kind of thing. But also with the Air Force and things like that. But not only that, we have Cheyenne Frontier Days. So Cheyenne Frontier Days is the largest outdoor rodeo in the world and the oldest.
Wow.
So, or the oldest outdoor rodeo in the world. So Cheyenne Frontier Days, it's over 100 years old, and our population literally doubles to triples some years. So the turnover in that 1 week can almost finance some places for like 3 months.
You're not the first person to tell me this about these short-term rentals. I've heard for specific events, Frontier Days, right? But people might have, a spring break, or like in California, not the Olympics, the World Cup is coming to Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. And so people are like planning, hey, we're going to have this Airbnb during this time period. And you can, surcharge this tremendously because people are willing to pay for convenience and proximity, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The friend that I have that currently rents her space is in historic downtown. So they're not only getting that stay at the right place they want, the convenience of being right next to all the events and the parades. So her place tends to get a little extra because it's right on the path of everything happening. So you're right with the surcharges, I mean, it can build and build, and per each person, there's always a little more,
I want to ask you, pivoting a bit here, I want to ask you specifically about acquisitions and finding these deals in the Cheyenne market. If folks maybe are not familiar with it, but maybe looking at investing in Wyoming, or they may be moving to Cheyenne, would you recommend, if they're looking for an investment property specifically, would you recommend any one specific acquisition strategy, whether that's working with a realtor or foreclosures or, distressed sellers, so on and so forth?
Well, specifically, I would always start with a realtor because they're going to have the in on most of the places anyway. The other thing too is Cheyenne's not big. You can get across it in like 15, 20 minutes in any direction. So what I would suggest is go through your realtor. When it comes to acquisition stuff, get to know the community a little bit, ask around. People here are very friendly and open. They're always willing to talk and BS. Hit your coffee shops because you always find an in somewhere. But if you're willing to talk to people, a lot of people just want to, they'll be like, yeah, this house up the road's been abandoned, or this building over here's got a property and it's been up for sale for 6 months, but you don't always find it on the listing. So sometimes sometimes the community is the best way to go. Just ask around, when it comes to getting the owner financing thing, you got to kind of be in the know, you got to know the person or know the people, know the thing. But the best way to go for an investor just coming into Cheyenne is just to drive around, get with a realtor, look at the communities, also look at go to the city department and pull up anything that's been labeled abandoned or construction or anything that's on the tax list. They owe taxes. That's a great way to acquire a property.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I've done all of those. And one of the things that I think is very popular right now, and you touched on it there briefly, is, seller financing or owner financing and people making those types of offers. And, I can speak for Texas. I can't speak for Wyoming, but I can speak for Texas. When you are a seller and your home is sitting on market and you're having your realtor tell you, hey, we've got to drop price, and you don't want to drop the price. What are your options? You can pause the listing, you can cancel the listing,
Right.
You can rent the place out, or you could consider, some type of seller financing, and then in many cases get that the top dollar amount that you want, but broken down over time. So I think there's more interest right now from sellers, maybe potentially, than previously in seller financing.
Right. Yeah. And I agree with that 100%. The seller financing side of it is, I don't know. It's tough here.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, you froze up there for a second on my end.
Can you see me now?
I
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
All right. No, yeah. I mean, the for sure. Whenever people are coming to me, I mean, I mentioned to you before the show here. I've had people come to me asking me, "Hey, can you make a seller finance offer on, a brick and mortar business like a laundromat?" I've had people ask me small multifamily, single family, a gas station, even. But when it comes to how this ties into like the cyclical nature of real estate, I was talking to a guy earlier today, actually, who was making seller finance offers in the early 80s on properties in New York. So this isn't necessarily like some new strategy, but this idea of owner to owner financing it without banks involved, I think, comes into play when you have maybe properties that aren't generating the type of interest that sellers would like. We are actually, though, coming up on time here, though, Jon. Any new projects that you're working on? And then also, too, what's the best way for our audience to get in contact with you?
Well, I got a fourplex that I'm working on that I invested in on an owner finance deal, just like we were talking about. It's through Established Management Properties. And of course, you can see behind me, it's always work involved. Always work involved. I just redid the plumbing in this building myself. But if you get a chance, come to Cheyenne, check out the local stuff. It's definitely worth a look around. Hit me up. I'm always available to talk and have coffee and tell people what's where, or where to go with it. If you get a chance, I also run an event company, EMP 2020. It's Events Marketing Promoting 2020. If you go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those, we're on all those under Jon Puls and EMP. But I do appreciate the opportunity to be on the podcast.
Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.